This video will cover how to create a Foglight SQL Server database agent using the advanced mode. The cartridge for SQL Server currently provides two methods when creating agents to monitor instances, the simple and advanced mode. The objective of this demo will cover how to create multiple SQL Server agents to monitor SQL Server instances using the advanced mode. This is ideal for creating multiple agents at a given time. The setup has some minimum requirements for databases and OS connections. Please review the prerequisites and requirements as a setup reference. Also consult the Foglight documentation guide mentioned below. To add multiple agent instances for monitoring in one setting, log into the Foglight web console with your Foglight user and click Databases to access the databases dashboard. Click Monitor in SQL Server. Click the hypertext link to discover multiple instances for monitoring. The following screen allows to select the Foglight Agent Manager client to deploy the agents against, showing the current Foglight Agent Managers reporting into the Foglight Management Server and the number of agents deployed against it. Consult the little information I for further details on this process. If the defaulted Foglight Agent Manager is not the desired choice, there is an option to select a different host. Once the host has been selected, click Validate to check the Foglight Agent Manager system resources. When the status is validated, continue to the next step to add an agent for monitoring. Click on Add Instances and the menu pops up with configuration options. Add manually involves keying in the connection details discovered by host, and discovered by IP requires the browser services to be running to auto-discover the broadcasting instance name. The last option is to import from file. The setup instructions are located in the Foglight for SQL Server user guide. For this demo, we will create the agent by add manually. To monitor instance that's a default instance, specify only the host name. For named instance, use the hostname / instance name format. If the environment is a clustered environment, specify the virtual host name of the SQL Server host and the server name dialog. Consult the information I for more details on setting up the connection parameters. For this demo, we will set up the monitoring agent against the named instance. The SQL Server default port is 1433. You can click the agent name under the display name column to adjust the name of the final database agent. In this example, we will use the default name. Click on Set Credentials. The information I is helpful in explaining the use of each section under Collection Details. The connection details is where to specify the name of the SQL Server instance to monitor. During this demonstration, we will stage monitoring against a named instance of the SQL Server default port of 1433. When no port is specified, the wizard will use the port that's provided by the SQL browser service, in which case the service must be started. The information I is helpful in explaining the login credentials. For this setup, we will authenticate using Windows Authentication to log into the instance. Configuring this authentication was allowed to connect to the instance as well as to log into the OS to gather OS metrics when enabled. Enter the username into the main /username format. The second connected method is to log into the SQL Server using Windows Authentication and the Windows account that is running Foglight with the user shown in parentheses. This means that if a local Foglight Agent Manager is installed on the SQL Server host, it will adopt those credentials. A pull-down field is available to change the level of SSL connection to the database instance. The current sensitivity level for the alarm is set to normal. This alarm level is adjustable. There's a sensitivity control definition for each alarm level of choice. An option is available to add the SQL PI extension. We will not be adding it during this video. The operating system checkbox allows the database agent to collect OS metrics. Clicking the link provides an option to either enter the login credentials for the remote host or to select a previously configured credential stored in the lockbox of the FMS. OS metrics require WinRM or WNI connectivity to collect Windows metrics, or a SSH connection for Linux monitoring. Enter the OS login credentials or select the radio button to use the same account to monitor the SQL Server, and then click Apply. The Collect VM Statistics checkbox provides the ability to obtain VM statistics directly from the VM server host. Once all of the connection details are in place, click Monitor. The configuration will start up. If an insufficient database privileges message appears for one of the database agents, click the message. A pop-up will display. A grant script is available to run directly in the instance, or enter sysadmin account to execute grant scripts. Click Finish. The new agents have now been created. After a couple of minutes, collection time, the dashboard will become populated with data. To learn more about Foglight for databases, visit support.quest.com. For quick support questions, follow us on Twitter @QuestExperts.